Okay, well, we're going to look at the homework, and the first problems are on page 655. These are like the problems we did in our notes today. They want me to find the length of that arc. They want to find that length. So what do I have to do? What is my formula? Can you remember? The formula is the arc, however big the arc is, out of 360. And for circumference, which is what we're doing here with length, that is 2 pi r. And that's going to give me the length of that line segment. So let's do a practice problem here. I know my arc is 45 out of, I better zoom in a little tiny bit more, out of 360 degrees. And then we know 2 pi r, and my r is 14. Now notice over here, leave your answer in terms of pi. So we're not going to give them a decimal, we're just going to give them that answer in terms of pi. So what we do, and we're going to type in exactly this. Now in parentheses, I'm going to put the fraction. Okay? That way I know what's being divided. Times 2. I'm going to skip pi, because remember we leave pi for at the end. And that means that this is 3.5 pi centimeters. Okay? And this particular one, they're looking for this whole circumference area. Okay, they want that much of it. That's not very obvious. This one is this, and this one. It's kind of hard to tell because it's not in red for me. I think it's this. I'm marking them for you. That, this, this, and this, and that. So make sure you've marked all of those. So I'll walk you through each of those again. I'll even mark them in red like the picture says. Okay, so here's this one. We found that one. This in red, this in red, this in red, the semicircle in red, and then this arc right here. Okay? Hopefully that'll help you. It's all just like we did. Each problem is going to be the same. It's the arc length over 360 times 2 pi times 14. And remember to leave in terms of pi. So we're always going to get our answer that's going to have a pi in it. Okay? Let's look at the next page, which is page 663. And we are doing problem 7 to 18. Okay, so we'll start here at 7. Notice that each of these we're just finding the area. How do I do that? How do I find the area? Well, we know it is pi r squared. And notice they want answers left in terms of pi. So what's your radius? Well, this is a diameter, and a radius is half the diameter. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So my answer here is 3 squared pi. What is 3 squared? 3 squared is 9. So my answer is going to be 9 pi meters squared. Because my units are squared when I'm finding area. You're going to do the same thing for each of these four, 8, 9, and 10. 11 is a word problem. It says some farmers use a circular irrigation method. So I know there's going to be a circle. An irrigation arm acts as the radius. So here's the, and those of you that have never really been in the country, they have these great big these machines that spray water out of them, and they can be really long, like 50 yards, and it just moves around a field and it waters. And this one is watering in a circle. It says that the arm is 300 feet. So that's 100 yards. That's the size of a football field long. That's pretty incredible. So it wants to know how much land is covered with this irrigation. So we use our formula area is pi r squared. What is my r? 300 feet squared pi. Take this bracelet off, it's very noisy. 300 feet squared pi is going to give me the area. So what is 300 squared? It is 90,000 pi, and it's feet squared. That's a huge amount that long arm is covering. Okay? I want you to try 12 all on your own. And here we're finding shaded sectors. Now these aren't shaded again, that didn't show up on your assignment here. But if you look at the book, it would be there. We're going to find all of these shaded sectors. Actually, that one's not right. I need to find an eraser. Of course, I don't have one. I'll just use a different color. I want you to find this piece, the green in this one. That's your shaded sector. Okay? Not the red in that one. And then in this one, let's find this sector. Okay? Alright. Let's look at these. I'll do 13 and then we'll do 18, because they're all going to be similar to that. First of all, how do I do the sector? Remember, you take the arc that you want out of 360. So the arc here is 45, and it's 360. It's a whole circle. That's kind of the percentage. And then I know my area, my formula for area is pi r squared. Well, my r is 18. So 18 squared. So in our calculator, we're just going to put in our numbers. In the parentheses, I'm going to put 45 divided by 360 and close it, times 18 squared. My answer is 40.5 pi. And what is my unit? Yards squared. So that's your answer. Especially because they want it left in terms of pi. Remember, always look for that. That's all you're going to do for 14 and 15. 16 is going to be like 18. So let's look at that one. I'm doing 18 because I think if I do that one, you'll be fine to do 16. Well, I know this angle right here is 45 degrees. I also know this arc is 45 degrees. This whole thing is a semicircle. How many degrees is a semicircle? 180. So 180 minus 45 leaves me with the arc length here of 35. So I know that the central angle that intercepts that arc is also 135. So maybe instead of seeing that, you saw the linear pair here, and you knew that together those had to be 180 degrees. Either way works. So now we're going to go to our formula where we put the size of the arc we want over the whole circle, and then we multiply it times the area formula, which is pi, r. What's my r? Well, this whole thing is 16. I just want to know what r is, so I've got to cut it in half. So what's half of 16? 8. So it's 8 squared. So let's put that in the calculator. And I take parenthesis, 135 divided by 360 times my r squared. And what do I get? 24. So I know that this is 24 pi centimeters squared. Sorry, I didn't put that right where it was. 24 pi centimeters squared. That's the area of this green sector. So hopefully that helps you with that one. Let's do one of these on the back. You have to do 23, 24, and 25 as well. And these are the tricky ones. Remember, we find the area of the triangle, and then we find the area of the sector. Now, this is not going to be as straightforward as the other one was. I just want to kind of point that out to you. 24 is a little bit easier than 23, because we have to be able to find this angle, which this is 120 because it is a central angle, but I don't know the height of that triangle. I have to find that height. And in order to find the height, I have to be able to find, I know that these are both radius, so this is 6 as well. This is a an isosceles triangle. So 6, 6, what does this have to be? How am I going to do that one? That you guys know how to do. That's the question I'm asking myself. I need to find a height of this triangle. So I'm going to have to figure out a right triangle in there. Let's go ahead and do 24, and I'll come back in a minute and do 23. I have to kind of look at it when I'm not on camera. I get a little nervous. This is just like the one we did. We have 8. We have 8. I know that let's find the area of our triangle first. They want me to find this area right here. They want you to find this area over here. I'm sorry. Okay. And they want you to find, I guess this area. Nope, this area right there. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the picture trying to figure out what it is. Okay, so let's do this one first. We can find the area of this triangle. I know I can because that's a right angle. And I've got to find 1/2 base times height. Okay, I think I figured that one out. Okay, I got it. So I've got find the area of the triangle. It's 1/2. The area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. So the area is 1/2 the base, which is 8, times the height, which is 8. So area is 32. And if you put that all in the calculator, that's what you'll get. And now I have to find the area of that whole sector. And the area of the sector, I know this is a right angle, so that arc is 90 degrees. So 90 over 360, and then I'm going to do pi r, what's my radius, 8 squared. So let's put that all in the calculator. And you'll notice I'm doing this a little bit different. Before I was putting it in parentheses, but you can always just calculate the fraction first and then type in the rest. So it's 0.25 times 8 squared. And so that's 16. So this is 16 pi. Now I don't know what that is in numbers, and when I'm doing subtraction I really need to do that. So if I type this, pi 16